Welcome to Answers for Living. Have you ever found yourself stuck? Stuck. We've all been there. You could be stuck in a situation of your own making. You could be stuck in the backwash of someone else's bad decision. Being stuck is no fun. So the question is, how do we get unstuck? Now remember the parable of the lost son. Jesus continued, there was a man who had 2 sons. The younger one said to his father, "Father, give me my share of the estate." So he divided his property between them. In Jesus' day, an inheritance wasn't divided equally. In this situation, the oldest son would receive 2/3 and the youngest son would receive 1/3. The reason was that the oldest son was responsible to manage the estate. Now, usually the estate was divided at the father's death. But this youngest son demanded his share while his father was alive. Basically was saying to his dad, "I can't wait for you to die, so give me my inheritance now." And the father gives him his inheritance. The text goes on and says, not long after that, the younger son got together all that he had, set off for a distant country, and there squandered his wealth in wild living. After he had spent everything, there was a severe famine in the whole country, and he began to be in need. So the son leaves home, goes to a distant country, gets far away from his father's influence, and this young man spends his entire inheritance and ends up incredibly needy. The text goes on and says, so he went and hired himself out to a citizen of that country who sent him to the fields to feed pigs. He longed to fill his stomach with the pods that the pigs were eating, but no one gave him anything. So he hires himself out to feed pigs. Now, Jewish people have nothing to do with pigs. They don't eat them. They don't touch them. They're unclean animals. But here he is feeding the pigs. But it gets worse. He now wants to eat the food that the pigs are getting. First he's serving the pigs. Now he envies the pigs. And now he wishes he was feeding on their food. He's in sorry shape. Verse 17. When he came to his senses, he said, "How many of my father's hired servants have food to spare, and here I'm starving to death? I will set out and go back to my father and say to him, 'Father, I have sinned against heaven and against you. I'm no longer worthy to be called your son. Make me one of your hired servants.' So he got up and he went to his father." Now this is where he begins to get unstuck. Now here is the beginning of repentance. He comes to his senses and he took responsibility for his actions and their consequences. He said, "It's my fault." Now that's step 1. So he goes home, but he's still stuck.